United States pretrial services officers are typically the first contact an individual has with the federal judiciary. We talk to pretrial officers from across the country about the role they serve in the federal judiciary as they balance community safety and the administration of justice.
U.S. Pretrial Services is the front door to the criminal justice system. Our main focus is to reduce unnecessary detention.
It often is the worst day of their life that a federal agent knocked on their door very early that morning, and they were arrested. The neighbors might see, family, spouse, kids are at home. They're brought to a courthouse. They haven't met with an attorney yet, and we're often the first person they see after the case agents have secured them in the U.S. Marshal lockup in the basement of a federal courthouse. Often shell-shocked.
Hi, I'm Jennifer McNutt. I am here with Pretrial Services, and I am here to conduct a pretrial interview with you.
And they ask us all the questions. How long is this going to take? How long am I in jail? How long am I going to prison? Am I going to prison? So we get a lot of those fact-finding questions that they don't know. You know, what's an arraignment? What is the detention hearing? What is detention? All these questions that people have when they get arrested, we get to answer those.
We have to do a good job of explaining who we are and what our purpose is and why we're asking these questions, where the responses are going to go to a judge who has to make a decision about that person's liberty, whether they are released on bail while their charges are pending, or they're kept in custody.
Pretrial services reports need to be done prior to a court hearing, usually right after someone is arrested. The officers are gathering information and verifying the information for the court in a very short time window.
It could be ranged from 1 hour to 2 or 3 hours. You are interviewing a defendant, collecting background information on the defendant, such as criminal history, residential records, things like that. You're verifying the background of a defendant through collateral sources, such as a parent or a wife. And then you're completing a risk assessment tool.
Compiling that into a report, identifying risks for the judge, and lastly, making a recommendation, a non-binding recommendation for the judge about whether the person should be released on bail while their charge is pending, and if released on bail, should they have conditions or rules that they follow while their case is pending.
We want to always be mindful of the presumption of innocence and the right to release.
I think when you think about locking someone up, there's ramifications. Research shows that jail isn't always the best answer, especially pretrial.
What I try to do is establish a decent rapport. At the end of the day, these are human beings just like you and me. And so just really providing that humanization and just having the conversation. Yes, I'm delivering some orders from the court, and that's what I'm trying to make sure you abide by. But also just, again, providing those services to them and making sure that they know I'm here to support them through this process.
I always say this, we're not pretrial. We're pretrial services. So we provide all the services necessary to defendants to be successful.
Pretrial services has a very clear mission. Provide accurate information to judges so they can make an informed bail decision. We're going to supervise defendants in the community, and we're going to try to mitigate risks of non-appearance and any harm to the community. In a nutshell, is our core mission.